everyone, I'm Hannah and this is my schoolmate Cassandra.
We are part of the Holy Childhood Kids.
We help kids all over the world.
It's all part of life at school. Study, play, pray, have fun, and learn.
About theater arts and video editing and growing stuff to eat.
And planning for our futures and for the future of the whole world.
That's where Holy Childhood comes in.
Through Holy Childhood, kids all across Canada are helping to make the world a better place.
So join us on an adventure around the world. We will explore the lives of children who in some ways are just like us. In other ways, they live lives that are really, really different.
Together, we are the Holy Childhood Kids. Together, we can make the world a better place. Today, we are going to visit Kenya. It borders Ethiopia and Sudan to the north, Uganda to the west, Tanzania to the south, Somalia and the Indian Ocean to the east.
Even if you've never been to Kenya, chances are you know what it looks like. Kenya's wilderness parks are often in the movies.
Millions of people visit Kenya each year to see its endless savanna and the animals that inhabit it. Elephants, lions, cheetahs, giraffes, zebras, hippos, rhinos, and more.
Kenya's location between the Indian Ocean and Lake Victoria means that people from all over Africa and the Middle East have traveled and traded across it for centuries. This has created a diverse culture with many ethnic groups and languages.
Kenya is 80% Christian, and that includes 7.5 million Catholics at 33% of the population. Other faiths practiced in Kenya are Baha'i, Hinduism, Islam, and traditional African religions.
What is noticeable about the different faiths is that the basic values, whether you are Muslim, whether you are Christian and Hindu, the basic principles are the same. Each one of them is teaching about love. Each one is teaching about peace. Each one is teaching about good morals. So the basic principles do not really differ.
The Kenya Catholic Church is a very young church. The oldest dioceses of the 19 in Kenya are just under 60 years old. The Archdiocese of Nairobi and Nyeri, as well as the Diocese of Meru, were each founded in 1953. The most recent local church in Kenya, the Diocese of Malindi, was established in June of 2000.
The Catholic Church has been key to the development of the country's educational and health infrastructure. That, in turn, has been due to decades of history of missionaries coming to the country from all over the world.
Holy Childhood Kids have a long history of helping the missionaries who have built the church in Kenya. We have several projects going that serve 4,974 children, and that includes adding classrooms to schools, starting nutrition programs, helping out with the medicines and other health care, and helping to maintain a dormitory for students who travel from the smaller villages to residential schools run by missionaries.
Kenya gained its independence from Britain in 1963, and compared to many other African countries who also had to fight for their independence, Kenya entered into a peaceful and stable phase of its development. This allowed many children to be educated, and today, Kenya has one of the highest literacy rates of the world's developing countries, with over 90% of young people between the ages of 15 and 24 able to read and write.
But that does not mean everything is okay with Kenya's kids. Close to 1 million children still remain out of primary school. And only 1 in 4 youth of the official secondary school age are enrolled in secondary school. In addition are major issues of the quality of education.
I really hope my children stay in school, because when they go through school, I have hope that eventually they will get employment and they will be able to help me. If they don't go to school, then they don't stand any chances of getting employment, and that is why we are struggling so hard.
Educational quality has not kept pace with quantity. The dramatic rise in enrollment has stressed Kenya's inadequate teaching force and physical infrastructure. A typical student-teacher ratio is between 45 and 62 students to one teacher.
Around 500,000 leave school each year, but the Kenyan economy generates only 150,000 jobs in a year total, leaving hundreds of thousands of youth without opportunities for formal employment.
The average annual income in Kenya is $480. This is very low compared to Canada, where the average income is $40,300. 60% of Kenyans live on less than $2 a day.
The life expectancy of a Kenyan is 50 years. In Canada, our average lifespan is 82 years. Kenya's infant mortality rate per 1,000 live births is 120, compared to only 5 in Canada.
With its many water sources, Kenya has a high rate of waterborne and mosquito-carried diseases. Malaria strikes over 8 million people each year.
Only 57% of the rural population has access to an improved drinking water source, and the time-intensive pursuit of water collection often prevents women from taking up income-generating activities, or in the case of girls, prevents them from attending school.
The leading cause of mortality among Kenyans is HIV/AIDS, which kills around 80,000 people each year. The disease has left an estimated 1.2 million children without one or both parents.
People here are still very afraid. They still don't want to come out in the open. There is a need to bring people together and train them, get them to be more aware so that people can freely go for testing and come out into the open.
Kenya's kids love to learn about their faith and celebrate it. Every Mass is a spectacle of song and dance. But Kenya's church is still very young, and there's lots of work that needs to be done. In the old days, missionaries would come from well-off countries like Canada to help out. It's still a missionary church, but the missionaries are Kenyan.
And they know we are helping them. As stay-at-home missionaries, we kids can assist the African missionaries through our prayers and donations.
But this is a two-way street. The kids we help us too. They teach us about what's most important in life. Things like having fun even when you don't have a lot of stuff. Things like the way kids love and care for their parents and other siblings. The way they work hard to help the family survive.
It all begins with getting to know Kenya's kids a little better. So join us on this great learning adventure. Do a class project based on this video on Kenya. Write the Canadian Holy Childhood Association to get more background. Raise some money.
Holy Childhood will let you know how the money is spent. Above all, keep these kids in Kenya in your prayers. For sure they will be praying for you. Together, all the Holy Childhood kids of the world are forming a huge circle of love. It's where you belong.